Matt Lenihan for Boxing Social in association with William Hill, Empire Fight. So I'd like to be joined by Callum Johnson. Callum, just seen you put through your paces. Joe Gallagher, Phil Martin Centre. How are you feeling?
Knackered. Good to come back and have a session though with Joe and the lads and Tash. Made me realise how tough it is. Made me realise I'm happy retired.
I was just about to say, when you come back, and obviously everyone knows you announced your retirement, but when you do a session and everyone else has been constantly doing it and we've got fights coming up, does it make you realise, you know, I made the right decision, or is it a case of, do you get the fire to be like, oh, I should want to get back into it?
Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest, I've never really lost it. The fire, as in, even the day I retired, I was like, I kind of don't really call it retiring, I kind of call it quitting, because I kind of quit rather than retired. It's hard to explain really, but I think a lot of it, I think the weight got to me in the end. I think I was struggling to make the weight. You know, it was depressing me, coming away from home, feeling the way I was feeling. Yeah. You know, it's just got to me in the end. I've been making that weight since I was 21. A lot of bad luck through it all, but without making excuses. You know, in the end, it come down to me and my mental state, and just thought, you know what, I can't do it anymore. I've had enough. But it wasn't because I wanted to retire. It's kind of just bit of an immaturity, bit of a like threw my dummy out, if you like. Fuck it, I'm quitting. Do you know what I mean? It was one of them.
You say that obviously through immaturity and things like that, but is it a case of, does it help with maybe the mental side of things for you not being in boxing? Because like you say, you had a lot of bad luck in boxing. Is it help you more mentally not being in boxing, or is it a case of you miss it and you would want to come back?
Again, it's an hard question to answer because I miss it. Mentally, I've been okay the last few months, but all I've been doing is living the same kind of life. I've been in the gym every day. You know, I'm still on social media as if I'm an active fighter, but I'm obviously not. And I don't know. But yeah, of course I miss it. And people say to me, "Oh, would you fight again? We want you to come back." And I don't know if it. I never say never. Yeah. If a fight got offered, you know, as a meaningful fight, then maybe so. But again, you know, would there be anything to come back to? That's also a big question. It's like saying, "Oh, I want to come back," or "Would you come back?" Is there anything to come back to? That's the thing, because I wouldn't want to come back just for what, a 6-round, you know, tick over fight and for a couple of grand. What's the point? You know.
So it's not completely off the table, but I'm only saying this because we see a lot of fighters retire and they come back. Obviously, everyone does it with the right intentions, and they never know how they're going to feel until they sort of go, look, I'm done. Yeah. But when you look at it now, the light heavyweight division is popping, and you must do. Is it a case of you'd never want to go down there anyway?
The light heavyweight division's long gone. Like I say, I'd never make that weight. I mean, I couldn't make it anyway. That's partly a massive reason why I went the way I did and ended up leaving the sport, because of the weight. I just see it was getting just too hard for me. You know, as I got older, I've been making that weight since I was 21. Still trying to make it at 37. Yeah. And it was taking too much out of me. I had no energy. I had nothing in me. I was just dying. Now, like I say, I'm about 16 stone, I think. I'm a bit fat though, but I've got loads of energy. Not very fit, like as you saw in that session, but I feel like I've got loads of energy. I feel mentally, it's like one of them, innit? You think in your head you can still do it. Yeah. Until you try, you would never know.
You had loads of good fights. You've been at that high level and stuff like that. Is the worry for you that if you committed to say, look, I come back, and then you get maybe a 6-round out of the way just to sort of feel yourself back into the spot, and then there's nothing at the end of the rainbow, it's not as not something for you to get your teeth into. Is that the worry? Because you see even just that session down there, obviously it was a grueling session and you've got to put all them hours in. Is that the concern, that you sacrifice time away from family, home, and you think, what have I done this for?
Yeah, to be honest, I've not even thought about it until now, really. I've thought about it a little bit, of course, but not as deeply as this. I mean, this is like gone into like kind of like as if I'm coming back, but no, I've not really thought about it that much. You sort of think about it, come back, yeah, but what's it to come back to? Would I get any opportunities? You know, I left the sport, you know, not in a good way, really, kind of just quit, if you like I said before. But no, I mean, I haven't really thought about it that much.
Well, everyone has the sort of breaking point when they get to the end of the tether, I think, and boxing's a dangerous sport. You know, if you hang around in it too long, you see a lot of fighters, they end up getting hurt or they leave the sport and it's not what they thought it was. What do you do to sort of occupy yourself away from coming here in the gym? You mentioned you've come in the gym, you're still knocking about doing stuff. So what do you do outside, you know, in your retired life? What do you enjoy doing, or how have you found it?
All I've done is train. That's the only thing that kind of keeps me level-headed. If you have 2 or 3 days out of the gym, I start losing the plot. I just love training. I'm a gym rat. Always have been. But again, like I say, it was down. I got to the point where I was just feeling so drained and like just nothing in me, and it was becoming hard. It was becoming hard mentally, physically, and. But yeah, no, I love the gym. That's pretty much my happy place. Being in the gym is my happy place, whether it's lifting weights, punching a bag, you know, on the treadmill, or doing circuits or whatever. You know, it's people think I'm a bit crazy, but I suppose I am a little bit.
Well, nothing wrong with being in a gym either. We see it does wonders for people's health, physically and mentally, keeps you in a good place, like you just said there. How important has Joe Gallagher been throughout, you know, your career, and obviously this part of it now? You still come in here to train with him. Tell me how important Joe is in your life.
Massive, really. Played a massive part. And you know, when my dad died, like, I looked up to Joe. But like, I can't say like my dad, but it was like I really looked up to him. Yeah. And he was the only man that I really looked up to. And maybe sometimes as well, it affected me in a sense, because also it was the only kind of man that I was like scared of, if you like. You know, sometimes I'd be scared to ring him up, sometimes to just speak about things, like to tell him, oh, I'm not coming this week, or, you know, oh, I'm heavy or whatever. I'd be like, oh, I can't let Joe down. Do you know what I mean? And it would put me in my shell, like kind of probably looked up to him too much. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not wanting to let him down, but then ending up letting him down anyway. So. Yeah, but no, he's been a massive part, but not just to me, to all his fighters. You see it. He's got so much energy to give to his fighters, and like I say, he backs them 100%. He'll go to the end of the world for them. Like whether the 4-round making a debut, or the fighting for world titles like Tash, he'll give everybody the same time, and he'll do everything he can in his power to get the best for them as well.
When you see like what he's done with the likes of Tasha Jonas, who for many years everyone was sort of wondering, is she going to get that world title that we feel like her career has maybe deserved? She's ended up walloping three out last year, and she won the first female fighter, I believe, to win Fighter of the Year, which is an incredible achievement when you look at who's won that before. How proud are you of someone who's obviously still a stable mate, because you're still in the gym? How proud are you of her and what she's achieved in the sport?
She's unbelievable. She's, you know, people ask me, or what fighters do you look up to, or is there any fighters you look up to? And you know, at first I kind of go no, but when I think about it, Tash, you know, I look up to Tash. What she's done, she had 4 years out, was it 5 years out when she had the baby, and she's come back. She had a few setbacks, and now look at her. I mean, she's 38. She's going to be 39 soon. You know, she doesn't
look it.
No, she's unbelievable. I always say she's a vampire. She's got vampire genes. But her mum's like, she must get her genes from her mum, because her mum don't look very old. They look like sisters. So yeah, no, Tash is unbelievable. She's an inspiration to me, and should be an inspiration to everybody.
Let's just come back to part of the boxing now, where we talked about obviously light heavyweight and stuff like that. And I know you don't say you don't make that weight, even if you did want to have a dabble back. But can I get your opinion on fights that have just gone? Obviously, Anthony Yarde went against Beterbiev. Gave a good account of himself. What did you make of the fight? You obviously were touted to fight Anthony for many a year, and you know what the Beterbiev thing's like. So talk to me about that fight. What did you think?
I thought he'd done well to go 8 rounds. I thought he'd done well. Did I think he was in the fight any time? Not particularly. I thought he'd done well, you know, but I don't think he did as well as was trying to portray he did, if I'm honest. Mm-hmm. But that's just my opinion. I watched it. I never watched it live, and I was hearing about how well he's done and this and that, and I thought, wow, he's done really well. But then I watched it back. I didn't see it. I thought he did okay. And then I thought Beterbiev was in control 99.9% of the time. I thought he kind of did exactly what he wanted when he wanted. He got caught once or twice, but you would expect that. But then when he did, he just put it on him, and you know he knocked him about a little bit, and then got him out of there when he got him out of there. I mean, but he done well. I'm not discrediting his performance. I just don't think he ever looked like he was going to do anything in the fight, in my opinion.
The other sort of protagonist in that division who was had a spectacular year last year in Dimitri Bivol. If Dimitri Bivol fights Artur Beterbiev, which is
that's the fight.
That is the one in the division. So how do you see that fight?
It's hard, isn't it? You know, if there's anybody out there that can keep him off and manage to nick a points win over 12 rounds, it's probably Bivol. But again, it's an hard job, isn't it? It's an hard job to keep him off you. That's a fight that everyone's interested. Everybody wants to see that fight. You know, I don't think we know till there's going to be split opinions on that one. You know, I think people will think Beterbiev will get to him. People's going to think Bivol will win on points. But I think until we see that, it's a 50-50 fight.
That's what makes these fights, though, isn't it? Where people go, you know what, I can't put my money. I can't put my money on.
At the same time, again, Canelo pound for pound, he's one of the best, but he's also no Beterbiev at light heavyweight. Do you know what I'm saying? He's not an half a Beterbiev, is he? So, you know, until we see it, we don't know, do we?
It's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out, because I know facts Canelo want that rematch with Bivol to try and right that wrong. We'll see what Bivol wants to do with that, but it's going to be interesting next year. Callum, look, I appreciate you giving us some of your time. I didn't expect you to maybe be here today. I thought you might have been enjoying yourself.
Just a day trip. Come and see the lads and Tasha and have a session, and I say I might come up a couple of weeks again.
Well, look, we look forward to seeing, you know, the development of this gym and some of the talent in it. And by all means, if you ever decide once again to go through them ropes, will be good to call one of your fights. So look, I appreciate you giving us some of your time.
Nice one.
We'll catch up again.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.